Yeah, so I think we can get the workshop started. So, hello guys, welcome to week three of the Leyline and FLIC workshop. And so, my name is Samuel,
Wait, what did you
and
say?
I am
Sorry,
one of the
I
co
started coming up. What?
I am one of the co-founders of FLIC. And so, just to give a little bit info about our organization, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our purpose is to inspire the next generation of cryptocurrency and blockchain leaders in the world of finance. And our goal is to provide a source of crypto knowledge to different communities. And so we do this by doing different workshops, such as this one, or different speaker events, our podcast, and our YouTube channel. So today we have some of our team members, Parth and Sagar, who will be talking about crypto versus fiat. So if you guys could quickly introduce yourselves and get started.
Hello, everybody. My name is Parth. So I'm currently a freshman at Lynbrook High School. And Sagar, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, everybody. So, um, we're starting today with crypto versus fiat.
Yep.
It's
So
week three of the FLIC and Leyline workshops.
we can get started right now. So first, I'm going to go over the economic primer about cryptocurrency versus dollars and pounds. So first, we need to know that there's four basic functions of money. So there's a medium of exchange, just being able to make transactions. The store of value, which holds, which means that money that's able to keep stability and not hyperinflate. The unit of account, which is how it's stored, and standard of deferred payment, which is which currency you use for transactions. So, and these are all requirements because we need all of these to make transactions. Otherwise, the money is held worthless.
So, some examples of the five functions. So, the medium of exchange, it must be a widely accepted form of payment. So, I can give someone $5 for an apple, and they have to accept it as a valid transaction, and it must be able to keep its value over time. So, $100 today will have the same purchasing power as $100 tomorrow. So, it's kind of inflation is kind of a problem.
Another two examples are the unit of account, which is this amount of the amount of money has to be the same throughout an economy. So a $10 book should be worth the same as a $10 haircut, but a $10,000 car is worth more than a $5 burger. So values cannot be lower and higher than each other's. They have to remain equal. And then the other is a standard deferred payment, which means that if I'm able to make this payment today, I should still be able to make the same payment in 6 months. It shouldn't be changed in the future, which is a car loan. If I take this car, I can take this car now and I'll pay it back later, which basically means that I should have the ability to take something now and still be able to pay it back at a later time.
Some requirements for a currency to have value. So there's two ways that currencies retain value. So currencies can be backed by other valuable items such as gold, meaning you could trade in that currency for a certain amount of gold, or currencies can have no other backing other than its reputability, such as the US dollar, the British pound, or by that means any currency for a country.
Furthering on this, uh, a few hundred years ago, the U.S. Use of dollar used to be backed by the amount of gold it had in its Federal Reserve, but it's no longer like that. Now it's based off reputation. So then we have fiscal policy versus monetary policy. Fiscal policy is the government or group's decision about taxation and spending, meaning that I'm allowed to the government can increase prices, so increase taxation so people have less expendable money. And then monetary policy is activities that are directed to influencing the quantity and usefulness of a currency. So that's I can print more money, meaning more people have access to this money, but the thing is value might not be the same as as it is right now because of inflation.
So adding on to that, so most of the decisions right now are made by the Federal Reserve. So Jerome Powell, as you guys know, has been printing a lot of money throughout COVID and all that stuff for stimulus plans, and that's led to inflation coming all the way up to 6.8%, I believe, is the number. So we're Fed's currently working on trying to reduce that. So everything has like a reaction that we have to take into account.
Then fiat currencies are next, which is like dollars and other kind of currencies. What are
So fiat currencies are legal tender whose value is tied to a government issued currency, such as the US dollar, Chinese yuan, Mexican peso, etc. With fiat currency, monetary policy is used by central banks, which is used to manage the value of its currency in relation to others. For some examples, one US dollar is 20 Mexican pesos, as decided by the central bank and can change. So basically, summarizing it, fiat is basically Bitcoin, Ethereum, all cryptocurrencies are not fiat. Fiat would be like stuff tied to like a country or something like that.
thing is now certain countries are starting to adopt these cryptocurrencies as legal tenders, such as like El Salvador, which now hold the Bitcoin as a legal tender, meaning that you can make any kind of transaction with it. But that has repercussions as well. Another thing about fiat currencies are made from metal coins, but the thing is, fiat currencies themselves do not hold any value because they're just based off the country's economy and inflation. They're not actually based off like any type of real world value. And like for example, if we look at the US dollar, the only reason it performs so well is because the US is one of the best economies in the world compared to an economy like Venezuela, where their money's still being made of the same products, but because their economy is not succeeding, they have hyperinflation, meaning their money is not worth much.
So now we're going to talk about what's better, crypto or fiat. So differences between fiat and cryptocurrencies is that fiat currencies have no real backing other than the government and their reputability, and it's tied very closely with government stability. Like Sagar said, if Venezuela, something were to happen, a war, hyperinflation takes off, the currency used in Venezuela would have basically no real value because like the physical bill is worth nothing, obviously. So cryptocurrencies get their value from blockchain. So crypto like Bitcoin is scarce. There's a limit of how many coins can be in circulation. Cryptocurrencies can't implement fiscal policy, but monetary policies are written into the cryptocurrency's code and are transparent to all users.
Some more differences are fiat currencies are controlled by a central bank while cryptocurrencies are decentralized. So essentially, fiat currencies all have like a backing. Like the example is like the U.S. dollar is backed by the U.S. like government and Washington D.C. and same thing with the British pound. They're all backed by government. While cryptocurrencies they have no like government behind them. Because these cryptocurrencies are completely spread across the world and they have no real location. This means they're decentralized, meaning a government can't just implement policies which changing the currency itself. And also, along with that, transactions with fiat currency occur within centralized banking infrastructure, meaning that if you make a transaction, it's visible on your credit report, other things like that. But the but cryptocurrency doesn't have the same thing because that's sent to the blockchain.
Pros to fiat currency. It's widely accepted. It's been the norm for basically as long as we can think of after the border system. This is the most important part. Many places don't accept cryptocurrency. So it doesn't have a negative sentiment. People associate crypto with illegal activity because it's untraceable and, like Sagar said, it's decentralized. So it can't be tracked. It can't be tracked. So people choose to do stuff that they shouldn't be doing with cryptocurrency. And it fits all four requirements for the currency to have value. It's been supported by years and years of financial infrastructure built upon it, and is more practical. People still prefer bills and credit cards.
Other pros of fiat currency is their stability because if governments have a strong economy and they're able to apply policies, the dollar value of those I'm sorry, the value of the currency shouldn't change too much as long as their economy is stable. So, like for example, again the U.S. dollar, although we're experiencing some inflation currently, the U.S. dollar normally holds its value and either goes up or stays stable because the government's strong and the economy is strong. And then along with that, the Federal Reserve can use its control over the U.S. dollar to reduce unemployment, change interest rates. Which, when interest rates become lower, that means more people have access to jobs, and that therefore they get more income. Which is a pro of like fiat currency because that means that like the Federal Reserve can just change policies, leading to people having a like income and jobs.
Some cons of fiat currencies. So it's completely controlled by central banks. So every decision made for the US dollar is currently made by the Federal Reserve. So if the sole supplier prints too much money, inflation or even hyperinflation will occur, which is what we're kind of seeing with the US right now. So inflation is the increase in prices of goods. Hyperinflation is inflation happening at an exponential level, or very high, reduces the buying power of the currency, and causes confidence in the currency to fall quickly. If the government crashes, the currency also crashes. An example is Venezuela or Zimbabwe.
And that's what we've been expanding on, because fiat currencies can only hold values if the government can hold its economy to a certain value. And some pros of cryptocurrency is that they're secure and confidential, because you can never tell who people are on the blockchain aside from their like Ethereum address or whatever they're sending through. And that means that identity theft and personal information cannot be leaked, since this is not attached to a single person's name. And again, also it's cheaper and faster for international transactions. With fiat currency, it's very difficult to send money to people abroad. But the thing is, with cryptocurrency, there's networks such as Polygon and others where you can send thousands of thousands and even millions of dollars for a fee of less than 1 cent, comparatively to fiat dollars, which have a lot higher fees.
Some more pros of cryptocurrencies is protection from inflation. Most of the time, infinite coins cannot be printed, which prevents inflation. Bitcoin has a cap of 21 million coins. Cryptocurrencies are also decentralized. They're more democratized than fiat currencies. So with fiat, like we talked about before, it's just one person making all the decisions about for the currency. So it's not the same for cryptocurrencies. And the adaptability, there's many new cryptocurrencies that are being made every single day, which improves and adds upon the already existing space.
Some cons, though, is extremely volatile. Cryptocurrency fell by 50% in just weeks, and again, we've seen this in the last within the last year and a half. Bitcoin has gone from prices over 50 grand to 35 grand within a couple of days, and same thing with some other coins such as Ethereum and Dogecoin. Like Ethereum has fallen from 4 grand to 2.8 grand only in the last couple of weeks, maybe, and Dogecoin is 27 cents maybe like 2 months ago, and now it's 15 or 14. And then along with this, cryptocurrency can be used for like illegal activities because it's not trackable. Since again, it's just connected to a wallet address, it's not connected to a person's actual name. So that means like criminals can use this to exchange money. Along with this is no fraud protection, because the blockchain is like it's a public thing that's decentralized. There's no like government or like Bank of America backing it. So if you send money to the wrong address by accident, you can never actually get that money back. And along with that, some cryptocurrencies have high fees. Like Ethereum's main network right now, if you were to make a transaction, it would range anywhere from $30 to $60. You can use different chains along with Ethereum, like Polygon, which would be less than a cent, but the main blockchain right now has very high fees.
So we're going to do some review about what we talked about today. So the first question is, which choice is not a function of money? You guys can just unmute and try to answer. Does anyone want to answer? Okay. Well, the correct answer is C. So the store value, standard deferred payment, and the minimum exchange are all things that are all functions of money, but promoting economic stability is not a function of money, though the value of fiat does rely heavily upon economic stability.
So it's kind of opposite. It's not that money promotes economic stability; it's that economic stability promotes like the value of money. Does
Yep.
anybody have any questions about what we went over? If not, we can wrap up. If you guys don't have anything to ask.
I've got a question. This is Jeff here. Thank you guys for doing this. This is really informative, especially for there's so many of us that are looking to break into blockchain, and the ramp to onboarding is still pretty difficult. But we're getting there, and even for people that I think know more or maybe are medium intermediate investors, this is still super helpful because there's always blind spots that people don't know about. I did have a question. I wondered specifically what you thought about the sorry, excuse me, I have this written down. If there's a particular chain that you like, because the Ethereum gas fees are so high. So I know you identified Polygon. I've heard Solana also, but I'd like to get your take.
Yeah, so I like Polygon a lot just because it's really easy to use, and it's also implemented in a lot of places. Like for example, like OpenSea, which is like the biggest NFT trading platform in the world. They have Ethereum as their main chain, but they also let you buy things with Polygon, which is a lot cheaper. So I prefer Polygon just because, like, if you buy one Polygon token, it's enough to make 500 transactions, which is basically for $2 you can make like 500 transactions, and also it's a lot more widely accepted than um other smaller like chains. And then also along with this, if anybody here does like crypto mining, Polygon's also a lot easier to use for crypto mining because like Ethermine, for example, which is like the world's biggest mining pool, they let you either withdraw money with Ethereum's main chain or with Polygon. With Ethereum's main chain, if you make $100, you're going to be spending $10 of that just withdrawing the fees. But with Polygon, you can withdraw that money for absolutely free after making just $15. You can withdraw all that money for free. So I just prefer Polygon to other kind of Ethereum chains just because fees are super low and it's pretty widespread.
I completely agree with Sagar here. So if you're like looking at any NFT collections or whatever, the first thing I personally look at is the chain that it's built on. So if you're buying an NFT on Ethereum, so if the NFT, for example, is like 0.1 ETH, right? So like a couple of $100, and then you'd be paying like, depending on how crowded the chain is that day, like miners and stuff, you'd be paying like 10 to 15% in fees, which is completely crazy. So I completely agree with Saga here. Polygon is like the future, in my opinion, until Ethereum moves to proof of stake, which we still don't know when's going to happen.
Just a quick thing about that. So the thing is, once Ethereum it's going 2.0 comes out, which developers are working on. So Ethereum 2.0, essentially what it is, it's going to be where where Ethereum switches to a kind of new network called proof of stake, and there the fees for Ethereum will become a lot cheaper, and they'll be a lot more affordable to the average person. And actually, they might just become free, and then along with that, it'll also be like a lot easier. It'd just be easier to make transactions in general when Ethereum 2.0 comes out. But the issue is when that does come out, it's gonna make the chains right now obsolete. Like when Polygon and a few other, and like Solana, like you said, those chains will start to kind of die down when Ethereum 2.0 comes out, because there will be no need to have a side network with lower fees, because the main network will have very low fees as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for taking my answer. And
Nope.
and yeah, thanks again, guys.
No problem.
Yeah,
Does
for
anybody
sure.
else have any questions?
I've got a couple more, but I want to leave some space for others in the room.
If no one else has any, you can go. You can shoot away if you want to. I
Doesn't
don't
look
think
like
anybody
anyone
else.
else has anything,
Yeah,
so
so
you
you
can
can fire
ask
away.
away.
Oh, sorry. Thought I was on, not on mute. So I think it's really interesting because I work in marketing in the industry with proof of good. But the storytelling is always really important. How, you know, given all the discussion we've seen about NFTs and a lot of the hate we've seen in NFTs, what, I'd love to hear what you find to be a compelling reason, for others to believe in NFTs, or to help tell the story that it's not maybe how the subreddits think it is.
So, like in my opinion, I completely love NFTs. I mean, it's the same reason that like people spend millions and millions of dollars on physical art. I mean, I don't get the difference at all. But like, there's also NFTs with real utility. So I've seen a couple of NFTs that basically they're like digital miners. So you buy the NFT up front, and every month you get like the amount of ETH that you would if you were mining in real life with a graphics card through the NFT. So it's not like all NFTs don't have utility. There's definitely NFTs with utility, and like we have to find those and like try to capitalize.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff is starting to get bigger with that. Like there's some different kind of NFTs. Like there's a pretty big technology guy named Gary Vee. So then he created his own NFT. So essentially when you buy his NFT, with buying that, you get access to like private Zoom calls and like business meetings and stuff with him, where you can get more information about different kinds of business opportunities. So the thing is, with NFTs, it's not just like you're not just like buying an image, you're also buying like use, where you can get access to different kind of meetings. So it's kind of like you're kind of buying like an access card of sorts. But the thing is, along with that, it's also like buying art. Like if you go to like a store or something, or you go to like a art gallery and you buy like a painting, maybe for like $20, you really like that painting, that's not yours. So it's the same thing with NFTs, where like you can just, if you really like this piece of art, you can buy it, and then you can like you can frame it if you want to. You can do anything you want with it. It's kind of just like buying another piece of art. But the thing is, compared to normal art, these will have a lot more utility, because most like bigger NFTs that are coming up now, they all have some sort of like utility, like I said, with like the business meetings, where you can get access to certain things with these NFTs. So, and you can't, like, NFTs are more than just like a piece of digital art, they're also like a huge piece of utility.
There's also like this whole meme about screenshotting NFTs. So I mean, it's the same thing with physical art. People can make fakes of your art. It's not the same thing. Same thing with NFTs. I mean, if someone like screenshots your NFT and lists it, it's not gonna have the same value, obviously. So I don't really like understand the whole meme about that. I mean, I guess it's kind of funny, but it's not really valid in my opinion.
And there's something else that I looked at, which is pretty interesting. It's so I saw someone say that it's easier to check if I own like this NFT than like pretend I pointed out like a random building. You if I said I own that, there's no way for you to like immediately check if I own that. But if I say like I own this NFT, you can just go to that NFT and check like who it belongs to, and that'll tell you who owns it. So it's not like you can just like take someone else's NFT and claim it as yours. You can it's really easy to like check it. So essentially, like just to wrap up, I really, I mean, like wrapping talking about NFTs, it's just like you're buying a kind of digital art, but it also has a lot of utility built into it. So that's like the whole premise behind NFTs, in my opinion.
Well, to wrap up the whole NFT thing, I actually have like a project I really like right now. So I'm gonna drop the OpenSea link. It's not financial advice. I just really like the project. So I'm just gonna drop the OpenSea link if any of you guys are interested. I put it in general.
But
So
yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, but
yeah.
I would say like if you do like NFTs, I would start to look into those kind of projects, because they have a lot of potential, in my opinion. So if you are into NFTs, I would start looking into those kind of things.
Yeah, and I just want to add one more thing. Many NFT projects recently are starting to support like better causes. More. So I know one NFT project is using NFT revenue. Like they're selling NFTs and they're using the revenue to support a program where for cleaning the ocean. So I think that's pretty cool that these NFT projects are using the money they give, and they're donating a portion of their money to help the environment and help the community and things like that. So
Actually, yeah. If you wouldn't mind dropping the name of that company in the general chat here on Leyline, it'd be really interesting because Leyline is doing the same with Good Points, with the mission to end poverty, and they're establishing the proof of good protocol and Good Points. And the Good Points will be used to be declarations and attestations of doing good, improvable good in the world, which is profitable philanthropy. If we can all help each other and get paid, do good, get paid. Let's go. So I would encourage, everybody else on the call, if they're looking to get involved and attain maybe a proof of good pack and become a co-owner of that DAO as well, head on over to Proof of Good DAO on Discord. Come to 5 meetings, get a proof of good pack for free, NFT for co-ownership, and do some good with us. But and you guys as well, because you're speaking the language, you're working to educate individuals at a global scale, and I appreciate what you're doing. So again, awesome.
Hey, I would like to chime in really quick to piggyback off that a little bit. How y'all doing today, first off?
Doing good. How about you, man?
I'm good. Hey, just what you mentioned in that, there was something I wanted to bring up to Leyline, Proof of Good DAO, especially someone who's an admin. Speaking of a lot of NFTs that's doing philanthropic work in this space, I thought it'd be a good idea if we can come up with a channel or a list of all of these different NFT projects who's doing this, because I'm in talks with two right now trying to convince them to come over, and they pointed me to a third. And after I got to the third one, I realized that we actually do need a list of, we need a comprehensive list or channel we can post these projects in there so we can go in and support them and also bring these projects over to Proof of Good DAO. Because what they're doing, the work that they're doing, they can be rewarded for that work now instead of later.
That's a great point.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a great idea.
Definitely get that channel set up. It'll be greatly beneficial to like all of us as well as like the devs for those projects.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the more light we can shed on these type of projects, the better it is for everyone.
Yeah, that's another good thing about NFTs. You kind of like you get the ability to like if you like invest into those, you kind of you get a kind of like a token to signify like you supporting good causes, which is I just think that's
Hello? Yeah, Hans here from Leyline and Cogdao. Yeah, I've heard your suggestion, Crypto GB. I'm gonna talk this one to the team.
Okay, cool. We'll appreciate it.
Man.
And another thing, and another function that list can serve is that one person can't do it all. So there is a project. I would like to put a focus on this project because they pointed me to it the other day. Guy, he's selling NFTs. I think he minted like 1 million, and he's selling them for like $4 or $5 each, right? But each one that's bought, he goes out and it supports them planting a tree. And so me myself personally, I'm doing so much that I can't really go and try to vet that project. But if we put it on a list, someone may like, hey, I'm gonna go check out this project here, and I'm gonna go vet them and see exactly if they're doing this, if they're actually doing it. So that'd be a good way for the community to vet each project too.
Do you guys have any more questions?
Awesome. Yeah, I do have a question. I think this is NFT related as well. So what do you guys think about, the oversaturation of the NFT market right now? I've seen projects pop out almost every day, And I think almost more than half of NFT projects out there are, quick scheme, quick cash, rug pull kind of stuff. So what's your advice? What's your navigation? What's some sort of, because a lot of people members here are new to the space, and really wanted to have a some sort of guidance, and so that you cannot be rug pull and all that stuff.
Okay, so
I
I'm just gonna go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, first of all, just a quick thing. Before you invest into like any NFT project, I would make sure you do research first, into the project because, like you said, some of them can just be trying to make quick cash. But yeah. So that's the first thing, and then second of all, I would also look into them. You can invest in an NFT project just because you like the art, but then I would also try to see if there's any type of actual utility built into it, so you can like see that's not just like a quick scheme. It's something that'll actually like help you in the future. So I wouldn't just like blindly invest into any type of project. I would actually look into it. It's kind of like the same thing as like a stock. Like you're not just gonna buy a stock just because like you see it. You need to you like do some like research, or at least like have some knowledge of the company prior.
Yeah, I'm also just gonna add, there's uh some like the biggest projects, Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, like even those type of projects have like can drop like 15-20% and have dropped in like a day. So only invest money that you're willing to lose. So this is not like rent money that you're trying to put into NFTs. This is all money that could evaporate overnight, no matter how good the project is.
Yeah, same way stocks. So basically, yeah, just make sure whatever money you're putting in is just investment money. You're not looking at like expand exponentially. It's you're looking at it as an investment. I mean, you can still buy NFTs for the art, but you're looking at them as an investment or art. And then for the investment part, just yeah, make sure it's just that an investment.